You ever think about just walking away from everything? Ava's voice was quiet, almost to herself, but Jack heard it clearly. He glanced at her, the hum of the jet engines filling the silence. Everything? Like what exactly? She hesitated, staring out the window, her words heavy with something unspoken. The company, the life I built, all of it. Would you ever do that? Jack's mind wandered for a moment, but the question didn't sit right. Maybe, but it's not that simple. Ava turned toward him, her eyes meeting his, sharp and vulnerable all at once. What if it's the only way to truly fix things? Jack didn't respond, but the tension in the air was thick, and he couldn't shake the feeling that something was being held back. Ava wasn't just running away. There was more. But what was it? And why was she asking him to follow her into the unknown? The wind howled across the desolate tarmac of Pinewood Regional Airport, a small strip nestled in the snow-dusted plains of Colorado. It was February, and the air bit at Jack Dalton's knuckles as he scrubbed oil stains from the asphalt, his breath fogging in the pre-dawn chill. At 42, Jack was a man of quiet routines, his days spent maintaining the airstrip and fixing whatever machinery the airport skeleton crew threw his way. His faded jacket bore the scars of years, frayed cuffs, grease smears, and the weight of a life that hadn't gone as planned. He didn't hear the jet at first. The roar crept up slowly, slicing through the silence as a sleek Gulfstream G650 taxied toward the hangar. Jack squinted against the glare of its landing lights, his broom pausing mid-sweep. Private jets weren't uncommon here, but this one carried an air of urgency, its engines whining as it rolled to a stop. He resumed his work, assuming the passenger, some wealthy executive, no doubt, would breeze past him without a glance. The jet's door hissed open, and a woman stepped onto the tarmac. Ava Kingsley was a vision of contrasts. Her tailored coat screamed wealth, but her face carried the exhaustion of someone who hadn't slept in days. At 38, she was a name whispered in boardrooms. The CEO of Kingsley Tech, a billion-dollar empire built on AI and innovation. But tonight, her empire felt like a noose. Her engagement to a hedge fund titan had imploded weeks ago, and the relentless scrutiny of her corporate life had pushed her to the edge. She walked away from her company, her phone still buzzing with unanswered calls from her board. Ava's heels clicked against the asphalt as she approached the hangar, her eyes scanning for the mechanic she'd been told was on duty. Jack, oblivious, kept sweeping until her voice cut through the wind. "Excuse me," she said, her tone sharp but unsteady. "My jet's got an issue. Navigation system's acting up. I need it fixed. Now." Jack straightened, wiping his hands on his jeans. He studied her for a moment, her tense posture, the way her fingers clutched her phone like a lifeline. "Ma'am, I'm not the lead mechanic. I just clean up around here. But I can take a look." Ava frowned, clearly expecting someone in a pristine uniform, not a man with callous hands and a 5 o'clock shadow. "Fine," she said. "Just hurry." Inside the jet's cockpit, Jack worked in silence, his tools clinking as he traced the wiring behind the navigation panel. Ava hovered nearby, her impatience palpable. "How long is this going to take?" she asked. "Long as it takes," Jack replied, not looking up. "These systems are finicky. You rush it, you're asking for trouble." Ava bristled but stayed quiet, watching him. There was something grounding about his focus, the way his hands moved with practiced ease. For the first time in weeks, she felt a flicker of calm. The repair took 2 hours. When Jack emerged, wiping sweat from his brow, he said, "Should be good now, but you ought to have it checked at a bigger shop when you land." Ava nodded, her expression softer. "Thank you. What's your name?" "Jack Dalton." "I'm Ava." She hesitated, then added, "You're good at this. Ever think about doing more than cleaning tarmacs?" Jack's jaw tightened. He'd been an Air Force mechanic once, fixing jets in war zones. But that was before his wife, Sarah, died in a car accident 3 years ago, before grief hollowed him out. "I get by," he said, turning to leave. Ava watched him go, an idea sparking in her mind. She didn't know why, but she called after him. "Jack, wait. Where are you headed after this?" He glanced back, surprised. "Home." "Why?" She took a breath. the words spilling out before she could stop them. "I'm flying to Oregon. I could use someone like you. Come with me." Jack froze, his broom clattering to the ground. "You serious?" "Dead serious," she said, her eyes locking onto his. "I'll pay you. Name your price." The wind howled between them, carrying the weight of her offer. Jack's life had been a series of closed doors, but something in Ava's voice, a mix of desperation and defiance, made him pause. What was she running from? And why did she need him? Chapter 2, The Leap. Jack sat in the jet's leather seat, feeling like an imposter. The cabin smelled of polished wood and money, a far cry from the grease and rust of his world. Ava sat across from him, staring out the window as the plane climbed into the night sky. She hadn't explained much, only that she owned a property in Oregon, a retreat she bought years ago for a project that never materialized. "It's a mess," she'd said. "I need someone who can fix things, not just machines." Jack didn't press her. He wasn't sure he wanted to know. His own reasons for saying yes were murky, a chance to escape the monotony of Pinewood, maybe, or the ghost of Sarah that lingered in every corner of his small apartment. But as the jet leveled off, he felt a prickle of unease. Who was this woman, really? And what did she expect from him? Ava broke the silence. "You ever start over, Jack? Like, burn it all down and try again?" He looked at her, her face half lit by the cabin's soft glow. "Once," he said. "Didn't take." She nodded as if she understood. "I'm trying to. I walked away from my company. My life, everything. People think I'm crazy." "Are you?" he asked, half serious. She laughed, a sound that was equal parts bitter and free. "Maybe, but I'm done living for other people's expectations." "You ever feel that way?" Jack didn't answer, but her words hit a nerve. He'd spent years numbing himself, working to forget. Was this his chance to feel something again? Or was he just chasing a stranger's dream? The property in Oregon was worse than Ava had described. Nestled in a forested valley near the coast, the retreat was a sprawling complex of cabins and a main lodge, all crumbling under years of neglect. Vines choked the walls, and the roof sagged under the weight of moss. Jack surveyed the damage, his mechanic's mind already cataloging what needed fixing. "This is going to take a while," he said. "Good," Ava replied. "I'm not in a hurry." She explained her vision, a tech training retreat for underprivileged youth, a place where kids could learn coding, engineering, and repair skills. "I want to give them what I never had," she said, "a chance to build something real." Jack admired the idea, but he saw the flaws. "You got funding? Permits? People to run this?" Ava's confidence faltered. "Not yet, but I'll figure it out." He shook his head. "You're dreaming big, but dreams don't fix roofs." "Then help me," she said, her voice fierce. "You're not just a mechanic, Jack. I saw it in you back at the airport. You're a builder." Her words stirred something in him, but he pushed it down. "I'll stick around for a bit, see what I can do." Days turned into weeks, and the retreat became their world. Jack tackled the physical repairs, patching roofs, rewiring circuits, clearing debris. Ava threw herself into planning, sketching layouts for classrooms and workshops. They worked side by side, their conversations sparse but meaningful. Jack learned that Ava had grown up poor, clawing her way to the top through sheer grit. Ava learned that Jack had once dreamed of opening a repair shop with Sarah, a dream buried with her. Their differences were stark. Ava's polished ambition clashed with Jack's quiet pragmatism, but they complemented each other. When Ava's plans grew too grandiose, Jack grounded her. When Jack doubted himself, Ava pushed him to see his worth. Slowly, a bond formed, unspoken but palpable. The locals took notice. A group of teenagers, bored and aimless, started hanging around, drawn by the activity. One, a 16-year-old named Mia, was particularly curious. She'd been in and out of foster homes, her sharp mind hidden behind a guarded exterior. Ava saw potential in her and invited her to help with the retreat's tech setup. Mia hesitated but stayed, her skepticism softening as she learned to code under Ava's guidance. Other volunteers joined, retirees, single parents, even a skeptical contractor named Tom who doubted Ava's vision but admired her tenacity. The retreat began to take shape, its cabins gleaming with fresh paint, its lodge humming with new wiring. But challenges loomed. A storm tore through the valley, flooding the lodge and destroying weeks of work. Ava's funds were dwindling, and whispers of her failed CEO past reached the local press. One night, as they sat by a fire in a half-rebuilt lodge, Ava asked Jack a question that hung in the air like smoke. What's the one thing you give everything to fix in your life? Not a machine, not a building, just you? Jack stared into flames, his throat tight. I'd fix the part of me that stopped living when Sarah died, but I don't know if that's possible. Ava reached for his hand, her touch tentative. It is. I'm trying to fix myself, too. The moment was interrupted by a crash. Tom, drunk and angry, had overturned a workbench, ranting about Ava's foolish project. You're just a rich girl playing savior, he shouted. This place will fail, and you'll run back to your penthouse. Jack stepped between them, his voice low but firm. Back off, Tom. You don't know her. Tom stormed out, but his words lingered. Ava's resolve wavered. Was she fooling herself? Could she really build something lasting, or was this just another broken dream? Hey, if you're loving this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more gripping tales. Your support keeps these stories coming. The next morning, a bombshell dropped. A reporter from a national outlet arrived, drawn by rumors of Ava's disappearance from the corporate world. Her article painted Ava as a reckless heiress squandering her fortune on a doomed vanity project. Worse, it dug into Jack's past, revealing his Air Force discharge after a PTSD diagnosis, a detail he'd kept private. The story went viral, and the retreat was suddenly under a microscope. Ava was furious, but Jack was devastated. You didn't tell me you were hiding from the world, he said, his voice raw. I didn't sign up for this. I wasn't hiding, Ava shot back. I was starting over, same as you. Then why didn't you tell me the truth? Jack asked, Who are you, Ava? Really, the question cut deep. Ava realized she'd been holding back, afraid to fully trust him. She took a breath, her voice trembling. I'm someone who's made mistakes. I built a company, but I lost myself. I got engaged to a man I didn't love because it looked good on paper. I walked away because I wanted to be more than a headline. I wanted to be real. Jack listened, his anger softening. I'm not good at real anymore, he admitted, but I'm trying. Their conversation was cut short by Mia, who burst in with news. Tom had sabotaged the retreat's water system, hoping to force Ava out. The damage was extensive, and repairs would cost more than Ava had left. The volunteers were shaken, and some began to doubt the project's future. Ava faced a choice, give up or fight. She chose to fight. She called a town hall, inviting the community to see the retreat for themselves. Standing before a crowd of skeptics, she laid bare her vision and her flaws. I'm not perfect, she said. I've failed before. But this retreat isn't about me. It's about giving kids like Mia a chance. It's about building something that lasts. Her honesty disarmed the crowd. Donations poured in. Small sums from locals, larger ones from unexpected allies, including a tech mogul Ava had mentored years ago. Jack, inspired by her courage, rallied the volunteers to repair the water system, working through the night. Mia, too, stepped up, designing a website to share the retreat story with the world. Months later, the Kingsley Dalton Workshop for Innovation and Repair opened its doors. The retreat was a marvel. Modern classrooms, hands-on repair shops, and a community garden where volunteers and students worked together. Mia was its first official student, her coding skills already earning her a scholarship. The retreat became a beacon for second chances, drawing youth from across the country. Jack and Ava's bond had deepened through the chaos. They'd faced storms, sabotage, and their own demons, emerging stronger together. One evening, as they stood on the retreat's porch, Jack took Ava's hand. I made something for you, he said, pulling a ring from his pocket. It was simple, forged from scrap metal, but it gleamed with care. I'm not good with words, but I want to build a life with you. Here, now. Ava's eyes filled with tears. Yes, she whispered, slipping the ring on. Let's build it together. The retreat thrived, its impact rippling beyond the valley. Ava and Jack married in a quiet ceremony on the grounds, surrounded by volunteers and students. The media, once skeptical, now hailed the retreat as a model for community-driven change. But for Ava and Jack, the real victory was personal. They'd found purpose, love, and a home. As the sun set over the retreat, Ava asked Jack the same question she posed months ago. What's the one thing you give everything to fix now? Jack smiled, his hand in hers. Nothing. For the first time, I don't want to fix a thing. Years later, the Kingsley Dalton workshop stood as a testament to what broken things, people, places, dreams could become when given care. Ava and Jack, now with a daughter named Sarah, continue to guide the retreat, their lives a quiet rebellion against a world that valued wealth over heart. The Tarmac where they'd met was a distant memory, but its lesson endured. Sometimes, the smallest encounters spark the greatest transformations.